What's up, good people? My name is Jeff Lights Jr. here at the Black Boss Channel and Victory Formation. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and notification bell because we upload every single day. Now, the Reese's Senior Bowl is one of the premier all-star games for college players declaring for the NFL draft. And the Reese's Senior Bowl is trying to do a better job of incorporating HBCU players with their event. And they have even created an HBCU Combine in conjunction that'll take place a week before the actual Senior Bowl event. And with that HBCU Combine, they have also come up with the Legacy Bowl, which will be played in New Orleans, and an HBCU Tent Village. I'm going to talk to you about that. So let's take a look. Let me go ahead and share my screen. It says the Senior Bowl host HBCU Tent Village at Hancock Whitney Stadium. It says Senior Bowl host HBCU Village in conjunction with the inaugural HBCU Combine. Oh, yeah, by the way, this is the first inaugural HBCU Combine. It says the Senior Bowl is hosting at HBCU Tent Village in the south parking lot of Hancock Whitney Stadium on Saturday, January 29th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. This celebration of HBCU culture will run simultaneously with the first ever HBCU Combine event that is being held in conjunction with the National Football League on the campus of University of South Alabama. The HBCU Village will comprise of four main events: academic institution, Greek organizations, entertainment, and a job fair featuring prominent local and national employers. Representatives from local and regional historically Black colleges and universities will be on site to connect with local students, fraternities, and sororities, will host tailgating, and recruiters from some of the Gulf Coast largest employers such as Austin, Airbus USA, Coca-Cola, and Apple will be meeting prospective job applicants. Entertainment will include performances from local high school and college bands, a live DJ, and a kids zone playing area. HBCU representatives will be Tuskegee University, Mississippi Valley State, Bishop State, Alabama State, Jackson State, and Southern University. Organizations will be Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, Zeta Phi Beta Fraternity Incorporated, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, Delta Sigma Theta, Sorority Incorporated, Sigma Gamma Rho, Alpha Kappa Alpha, Inspire, and Game Changer Marketing. And then we got some high school bands that'll also be there in participation. So this is cool. Like, I mean, it sounds cool in theory. It's like, oh man, it's really cool. They're doing the first ever HBCU Combine. That's good because, as we know, there were zero, you hear me? Zero HBCU players drafted in the 2021 NFL draft, and less than 10, hear me, less than 10 signed as undrafted free agents. And so I'm like, man, I mean, that sounds pretty good. And I remember when Coach Prime Deion Sanders was a commentator on the NFL Network, who pretty much the NFL in conjunction with the NFL Network and now in combination with some of these HBCUs, they were the one, Deion Sanders being one of the main ones calling for an HBCU Combine. But now he has backtracked. Now that he's in the HBCU culture, he's actually backtracked on that statement and said, no, we just want a few extra spots at the real Combine, at the big Combine, and not our separate own Combine. And here's why he feels that way, and here's why I feel that way. Because, you know, all of that sounds good, right? And I'm going to show you, we'll take a look right now at the HBCU Combine that'll be taking place on January 29th at in North Alabama University. Let's take a look. This is the HBCU Combine on the Reese's Senior Bowl website, January 28th through January 30th. The tentative schedule: on-field workouts, club interviews, mentoring, welcoming party, club interviews, you know, all these things. And the goals and objectives. Let's take a look at this because this is interesting. The goals of the 2022 HBCU Combine is to increase the amount of HBCU players drafted and signed as undrafted free agents. In 2021, this is the big number: zero, big donut, zero drafted and less than 10 signed as undrafted free agents. To elevate the perspective of HBCU athletes in the HBCU Combine, hosting the event in partnership with the Senior Bowl provides additional credibility. I'm going to just be honest. You know, I get what they mean when they're trying to do that. It's like, hey, you know, it's not a janky promotion. It's the NFL. It's Reese's Senior Bowl, who's been doing this for a very long time and is a prestige all-star game, maybe the most prestigious college all-star game right ahead of the draft. I mean, big-time players have played in the Senior Bowl, from, you know, Mac Jones, first-round pick, Justin Herbert, first-round pick, et cetera, et cetera. Those are just the two guys that come on top of my head. But I don't think the HBCUs need your credibility. That's just me. I don't think, you know, Southern has a pretty credible, great history, probably a richer history. I know a richer history than the Senior Bowl, or Grambling or Jackson State or Mississippi Valley or Hampton or Howard or whatever. But I get what they're saying. It's to build relationships between the NFL and incoming players, mentorship with current NFL players and legends, engage cross-functional working group, to build, plan, contend, and engage to elevate HBCU Combine and generate partnerships. I mean, I get all of this. All of this is actually going to be great. A number of NFL clubs attending the Combine, a number of players. This is what success factors look like. A number of NFL teams attending the Combine, which I think they should, and which I think they will. A number of players drafted and signed as undrafted free agents based on previous years, and career paths for interns, because they'll also incorporate some job, some job mentorship, some job fairs, and things like that. But all of that is good. All of that is really good. And it's good that the Senior Bowl is finally taking notice. It took let's be honest, none of this was never on their radar until Deion Sanders became the head coach at Jackson State. So, thank you to Coach Prime, Hugh Jackson, and guys like that who have made this possible because of the spotlight that they have actually brought to the HBCUs. That was the whole goal. And I get Reese's, the Senior Bowl people, Jim Nagy, and all of, I appreciate all of them doing all this. But for them to do all of this, it's pretty mind-blowing that only one HBCU player is actually going to get a chance to play in the Reese's Senior Bowl. And just one. And they just gave that invitation, and it was accepted this week. Now, I'm not saying, I know for a fact, and let me know in the chat, let me know in the comments. I know, and you both know, that there was more than one player that attended a historically Black college or university this fall that played football the past 4 to 5 years at whatever school, whatever your favorite school is, FAMU, Bowie State, whatever, that deserved an invite to the Senior Bowl. I get it. The Senior Bowl is the best of the best seniors, the best of the best. Like, I totally get that. And I get that they have created the Legacy Bowl, which is all HBCUs, and they created the HBCU Combine. But I'm looking at this roster. This is the roster of the American team that is going to be playing the official Reese's Senior Bowl, not the Legacy Bowl, not the HBCU Combine, but the actual official Reese's Senior Bowl. Now, there's only so many spots, so many invitations that they can send out. But I'm looking at this roster. I see Alabama. I see Arkansas, Florida State, Kentucky, LSU, Western Kentucky, Michigan State, Appalachian State, Georgia, Kentucky, Memphis, Southern Utah, Tennessee, UTSA, Tulsa, Liberty, North Carolina, Florida International, Coastal Carolina, SMU, UCLA, South Alabama, Virginia Tech, Ole Miss. And I don't see one HBCU player represented. And so that was the American team. Now I'll go to the national team coached by the Jets. And once again, I'm looking at Cincinnati. I'm looking at Connecticut, who was awful, by the way, Houston, Miami, Minnesota, Ohio State, Oklahoma, Iowa, Penn State, Utah, Montana State, Fordham, Michigan. And then I finally see one young man from Southern University, to Tyree Carter, and they just gave him that invite this week. And so I get the push for the HBCU Combine, and I get the push for the Legacy Bowl, and I get the push for the HBCU Village, and I get the push for all that stuff. But if we're really trying to, be inclusive and be diverse and really give these guys a chance, why do we only have one? Now, somebody let me know if I skipped over a name. I ran through this. Somebody let me know if I skipped over a name. But last I checked, there's only one HBCU player that was actually invited to the Reese's Senior Bowl, at least that we know of, and that is going to be a part of one of the most prestigious, biggest all-star games that take place for draft-eligible seniors. I find that kind of amazing. I get all the other stuff. I get they're trying to help. I get it. I do. But I think more can be done. I remember head coach Willie Simmons of FAMU called out the Reese's Senior Bowl and Jim Nagy. He called him out straight up on Twitter, and because his All-American defensive back, Mr. Bell, wasn't selected. And there were other FCS defensive backs, and his defensive back was an FCS All-American and has been a standout at at FAMU, and will be and should be drafted. And he didn't get an invite to the Senior Bowl. Jacoby Durant from South Carolina State, a standout defensive back who will be drafted, even got praise from Deion Sanders, Coach Prime himself, the greatest defensive back in the history of the NFL, and he didn't get a Senior Bowl invite. And I could go down the list, but I know you guys in the comments can let me know that there are guys that were deserving of the Senior Bowl invite that didn't get one. And I get it. It's baby steps. I get it. I swear I do. And I'm proud of, congratulations to Mr. Carter from Southern, who did get the invite, who will be playing in the game, who will get that opportunity. I want to show you guys his tweet. And I understand, and I know this is a big deal, for him, and I don't want to diminish him at all. I don't want to diminish his opportunity. I don't want to diminish, the season that he had, dominant on the offensive line. There it is. Welcome Southern Sports, Jatire Carter, to the 2022 Reese's Senior Bowl. Go Jags. Jatire will suit up for the national team, coached by the Jets. The draft starts in Mobile, and then he tweeted, the draft starts in Mobile. Appreciate the opportunity. And so I do not want to take away from this young man's accomplishments. I do not want to take away from the fact that he worked his tail off, and he deserves this, and I hope it really helps his draft stock, and hope it enhances his chance of getting into the NFL. But I just find it very, very interesting that the Senior Bowl and that the NFL and all these people are going to the extra length to make sure that there's a Legacy Bowl and there's a HBCU Combine and a HBCU Village and all this stuff, but they're not inviting the young men who are deserving. I'm not asking for a handout. These young men are deserving to the actual big dance. That's just something to think about. Let me know your thoughts in the chat. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Once again, my name is Jeff Lighty Jr. with the Black Boss channel and Victory Formation. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel for all things HBCU sports, all things HBCU football. Hit the thumbs up button. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at JLighty7, on Instagram and Twitter at JLighty7. I talk about this kind of stuff all the time there. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hit the thumbs up button on your way out, and I will see you next time. Peace.